You thought you could get rid of me? Well, you can't. You're stuck with me. So guys, just in case you couldn't tell, I am doing my Wolves player rating so far this season. I'll be going through the starting 11 and some of the substitutes and giving my opinions on how they have performed so far this season. But just before we get started, one thing. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. You know you want to, I know you want to, and that's all I've got about to say on that. So let's get straight into rating these Wolves players. So first up is one of the new boys, Rui Patricio, and we still have to pay a compensation fee for him, but no matter what, unlike Andy Carroll, he's going to be worth it. He's kept one clean sheet in 4 Premier League appearances, and that was the win against West Ham. But in that game and the Man City game, he made some fantastic saves to help get us the points. Against Leicester and Everton, he conceded 4 goals, but none of them he couldn't do anything about. It was an own goal, deflected shot, and against Everton, they were just superb goals from Richarlison. So in my opinion, guys, Rui Patricio has been a fantastic signing for us, and so far this season, I'll give him a 9 out of 10. He's been tasked with another difficult job, sort of like Mission Impossible really, having to fill the boots of Barry Douglas. Now attackively, he has started to get forward more and show a bit more of a threat, but he hasn't quite hit the lengths of Barry Douglas. But defensively, he has been solid. He doesn't take set pieces because Barry Douglas was superb with that, so that is a bit of a step down with Johnny. However, Johnny has adapted well to life in the Premier League and life with Wolves, and for me this season, he's been a 7 out of 10. Donald Trump said he wanted to build a wall. Well, Nuno went out, loaned one in, and brought in permanently this season. That's right guys, I'm talking about the 6'5" giant Willy Boly. Willy Boly has pace, he has height, and he's very good on the ball, so he's an all-round fantastic defender, and that's exactly what he's been for Wolves. However guys, the only problem this season is that he has lost the ball a lot of time in key areas. Everton, he failed to clear it and created a chance for them. West Ham, he headed it straight across the Snodgrass and gave it away in the area as well, which led to the chances. Thankfully, Patricio saved them. But if he cuts out those mistakes, he will be a world-class defender in the Premier League. But obviously, you've got to give him time to adapt. For me though, guys, Willy Boly gets an 8 out of 10. Now we're moving on to the shapeshifter. We're going on from a player who looked like a Kenny Jackett reject 3 years ago to a Nuno Santos star now. That right guys, it is Captain Conor Coady. Now for me guys, Conor Coady is a fantastic playmaker with the ball, and in that back three he's very good at covering. For the first 2 games of the season, I did feel he was stuck in like the championship mindset of you only have to go out and go within 5 yards and you can put pressure on them, and we saw that James Maddison had a shot deflected off him and that went in, and against Everton he was used as a brick wall to obstruct Patricio's view, which led to Everton's second goal. However, since then, especially against Man City, he really upped his game. He started putting pressure on the attack, and he showed that he is a fantastic defender. He's also played some good balls out from the back and kept the ball well for Wolves when needed. For me, guys, he's got a 7 out of 10. Now guys, just like the Invisible Man, this player can do anything and it will go unnoticed. That's right guys, it's Ryan Bennett, and he has been absolute fantastic for us this season. He's been the pick of the back three for consistency. He's performed up to standards every single game, and he very rarely makes mistakes, and he just does the basics so well, it helps out the rest of the team. It is Ryan Bennett. Ryan Bennett has been absolutely fantastic, as I've just said, and for me guys, he's the pick of the back three, and last season he came in and helped calm things down as well. His position was probably the one that was under most scrutiny in the transfer window. It's definitely Ryan Bennett's for this season. Ryan Bennett has kept his position, especially if he keeps performing like this. For me guys, he has had an 8 out of 10. Just like most story-based films, this player had a slow start to the season. That's right guys, it's Matt Doherty. Matt Doherty began off slow against Everton and Leicester, where he conceded an own goal and showed that he might struggle to fit into the Premier League. However, 2 games after that against Man City and West Ham, 2 decent performances have showed that he does have what it takes to play in the Premier League. Defensively, he's been solid in those 2 games. Yeah, he did get done for pace, but that will happen. And attackively, he's shown that he can be a threat as well. For me, he does deserve this. He's got a 7 out of 10. Next up is the master of passes and the king of screamers. It's Ruben Neves. Without him, we're not even sure we'd be in the Premier League. He dictates games, he controls games with his passing. He passes 70-yarders as easy as an adult spreading butter on toast. You know, it's just so easy to him, and it just comes so naturally. For me, he has showed his world-class potential in the Premier League with some of his passes and that. However, there are times where he's had to be more defensive. But he has adapted to that and done fantastically well indeed. Against West Ham as well, he showed that he can high press no matter what stage of the game it's at, and he's by far one of our best players. He deserves this. So far this season, I'm giving him a 9 out of 10. Next up is a player who's more of a bargain than a KFC bargain bucket. That's right guys, it's João Moutinho. João Moutinho has been absolutely fantastic. He's got a great partnership with Ruben Neves. They're literally like synced into each other's game now. The press at one time while the other one covers and vice versa. Moutinho's also very good at pressing. He's very good on the ball with passing it, dribbling and also beating players with 1 or 2 touches. He's also got a low centre of gravity, I think, which allows him to turn easily. He's been very impressive and people are questioning whether he'd adapt to the Premier League. Yes, he has. He's using his experience to help Wolves pick up points as we go along. For me guys, he fully deserves this and I'd like to know your guys' opinions because I'm giving him a 10 out of 10. Man of Steel. That's right, it's Diogo Jota. Last season, after he showed his quality, defenders started tackling him, kicking him, coming through behind him, everything to put him off, and somehow he only picked up 1 minor injury off all that. And this season we've already seen players target him a little bit. Phil Jagielka. But as you can tell, he hasn't actually lived up to the potential since last season. Yes, he has had some good moments, but he hasn't quite shown what he can fully do yet. And he's only been an average player. But maybe with the likes of other wingers like Cavaleiro coming back soon, Traoré showing great potential and how the Costa starting to increase his standards, maybe that can help Jota to have that competition and improve his game. But so far guys, I will give Jota a 6 out of 10. This is a player that is that talented, he had a shop named after him. That's why guys, it's Helder Costa, and Helder Costa has been one of our best players since he signed under Walter Zenga. However, this season he's just got to find the consistency. Against Leicester and Everton, he performed alright but didn't do too much to offer Wolves an outlet. However, since Adama Traoré has shown what he can do and Helder Costa knows that he could easily be dropped with him on the bench and Cavaleiro coming back, he has started to improve. Against Man City, he improved very well. He won the corner that led to the goal with a lovely flick over the defender's head, straight through on goal and tried to beat the keeper. And also, he scored against Sheffield Wednesday as well after winning a penalty and converting it. So for me, guys, he's showing great spells. And West Ham as well, he was also a threat and showed good link-up play with Matt Doherty. So far for him this season, guys, I will give him a 7 out of 10. Next up is a player who is the exact opposite of Boris Johnson. It's Raul Jimenez. Raul Jimenez works tirelessly up front for Wolves, whether we are having to defend or high press. He will always run after the ball. He's also good at linking up that ball as well and holding it up for the rest of the team to get involved, which is what we need in the Premier League especially. He has also got a goal to his name after heading in against Everton. He also hit the post against Leicester and had a goal disallowed against Man City. So he shows potential of getting us plenty of goals. However, against West Ham, he showed that that potential could be short-lived, and hopefully it's not, because he did come up with one of the misses of the season. But every striker will have those games. For me, he deserves it. He's got a 7 out of 10. He's faster than a speeding bullet. That's right, guys, it's Adama Traoré. And Adama Traoré, for me, has been an absolute outstanding player. When he played against Sheffield Wednesday, he destroyed their defence. When he played against Man City, he destroyed Mendy. When he played against West Ham, he destroyed their defence. He's just absolutely incredible. He's so fast, it's unbelievable. He can just be walking and then he's gone. We should start calling him the Flash, because that's literally what he is. It's just a flash of him there. He's also had an end product. He's had a shot that was saved. He's teed up Jota against Man City. He's teed up Doherty and he scored a goal against West Ham. So in his performances, he is creating us chances and getting us goals. For me so far this season, only off the bench as well, he's got an 8 out of 10. Now last up guys, and not least, are some of the substitute shoes, mainly Ruben Vinagre and Leo Bonatini. Ruben Vinagre always looks settled on the ball, he looks settled into the team, and he looks like he's at home in the Premier League. So for me, he does deserve a 6 out of 10. I'm only giving him 6 because he hasn't really played that much. Leo Bonatini as well hasn't really featured too much, but when he has featured, he's been a bit inconsistent. You've got when he first came on in the first 2 games against Leicester and that, he didn't look like his usual self. But after that goal against Sheffield Wednesday, when he came on against West Ham, he got himself an assist. So maybe that could be a great turning point for his season, just giving him that extra bit of confidence. For me, Leo Bonatini gets a 7 out of 10. Anyway guys, that is it for today. Those are my player ratings. Let me know in the comment section your player ratings for Wolves so far this season. Hit the like button if you like the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll speak to you guys next time.